Hey, how y'all doing out there? I'm sorry, I sound real country, don't it? It's cool, it's cool, it's cool. Welcome. This is the Steps Edit podcast. I am Stephen B. I am the host, the proprietor. This is my little space on the internet, on social media, and I'm glad to be here. Listen, I missed y'all so much last week. Last Thursday was the 4th of July, and I just decided to take a break to give you guys a break. And so we are back on this week. I am so glad that you all decided to tune in and hang out with your boy one more time. So let me do this correctly. And I say this all the time. So good evening to those of you who are watching me live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you who are watching on the playback. Thank you so much for joining me on this evening. This is the Steps Edit podcast. Once again, I am Stephen B. I am your host. And here on the show, you know how we say it. If you ask me, I'll tell you. It's really, really good to hang out with you guys again, hang out with you guys one more time. I really, really, really did miss hanging out with y'all last week. I hope everybody enjoyed your fourth. I hope everybody was safe. Everybody was healthy. Hope everybody enjoyed their day off, had a little bit of fun, a lot of fun. You know how it is. This was a really, really good fourth time for me. I did my good cooking. Yeah, I did my good cooking. At some point, I'm gonna do a step set it special, and I'm gonna show y'all how your boy get down on the grill. You know, because I feel like I do my thing do my thing pretty nicely. So if I had time, I would upload some pictures of food that we did over the weekend. But it was really good. It was good times. And so once again, I hope everybody is good. I hope everybody is safe. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining me on tonight. We have an amazing show lined up for you. Some really good stuff that we're going to talk about. But before I get into the show, I wanted to share something with you guys. Now, I'm not going to put her out there, but I had a conversation with my daughter just about just life decisions and next steps and what happens next. And part of that conversation, she shared with me that she was just kind of holding off on some things, or she was kind of held back on some things because she was afraid. And when we talked about it, and I said, "Well, what are you afraid of?" She said, "Well, I am afraid of failing." And I said, "I completely understand. I get it." Um, and so, I'm not going to go too deeply into that conversation that I had with her, because that was a very special, intense daddy daughter moment. But I did want to share a quote with you guys from one of the movies that my daughters made sure I watched over and 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 over again. And the movie was The Princess Diaries. The movie came out in 2001. Um, and one of the lines from the movie, when I heard it, it stayed with me. This line is from Edward Christophe Felipe Gerard Rinaldi, the Prince of Genovia. And the quote is: "Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something is more important than fear. The brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all." And so I just wanted to share that quote with you guys, just to remember that, um, things happen in life. Life, the way we say it these days, life be lifing. And that is a very true statement. Life be lifing. But in the process of life doing what life does, we want to make sure that we are not stopped or halted or debilitated by our fears. Um, there's an acronym that I've heard a lot of preachers use when they're talking about fear, and fear being false evidence appearing real. Um, what I will say is, I understand that fear is a real thing. And so, in no stretch am I going to diminish or, act like fear ain't ain't out there. No, fear is real. However, we can't let fear stop us. And like the quote says, the courageous may not live forever, but the fearful don't live at all. And so if you're stopped by fear, you deprive yourself of the privilege of living and enjoying life. So, whatever it is that you got going on, whatever it is that you're doing, don't let fear stop you. Okay? Hear me, I'm going to say it again. Don't let fear stop you. If you're afraid, do it. Do it afraid. If you're afraid of failing, do it. Do it afraid. If you're afraid of looking like a fool, do it. Do it afraid, but do it anyway. Because if it is something that you are passionate about and it is something that you really believe in, then do it. And let's just see what happens from there. All right. So that's my encouraging thought for today. Claps up. Good job, Stefan. Thank you. I have my own studio audience. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you so much. And so what we're going to do now, so y'all know I'm always dealing with the cough. So I'm trying to offset the cough this time. So um, we're going to get into it. But this is what I want to do tonight. We're going to jump into our letter. And tonight's letter is it's a touchy subject. Is one of those things that we as people, it's unfortunate that we do have to deal with these things. We do have to go through these things. And so the letter that I have tonight, it deals with a very touchy subject. But we're going to jump in here and we're going to deal with it and we're going to talk about it. So if you're ready, let's go. So I'm trying to pull up. So I'm trying to pull up my other screen so I can see you all talk to me. This is what I want you all to do because this works a lot easier for me if you all are on the Steps Edit page. So I see I have viewers that are coming in. I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I have a lot of people who are watching on my personal page. And I do have some people who are, of course, tuned in on Instagram and on YouTube. And so I will say, and I don't typically announce this, but tonight we are streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube simultaneously. And so we're excited about that. I do want to ask everyone to please join, follow me on my Steps Edit page on Facebook. You can go to Facebook on Steps Edit and follow me on that page. That way, if you're interacting with me during our conversation, during the show, then I can actually see your comments without having to switch back and forth to different screens. Now, in the meantime, between time, we're going to do what we got to do. But again, I'm going to continue to encourage you all to go to the Steps Edit page on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're watching me on Facebook or on YouTube and you comment, then I am able to see your comments and we can interact there. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into tonight's letter. And here we go. Our letter reads, Dear Steps Edit Podcast, thank you so much for taking the time to read and share my letter. I'm looking forward to your insight on this matter. My name is Daniel, and I'm reaching out to you during what is undeniably the most trying period of my life. My mother, who was a beacon of love and strength throughout my childhood, passed away recently after a prolonged battle with Alzheimer's disease. It was a journey that profoundly changed me, one where I served as her primary caregiver for the last 4+ years of her life. So I'm going to pause right here. Daniel, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. You have our condolences here from the Steps Edit podcast. Here we go. Taking care of my mother wasn't just about the physical aspect of care. It was a deeply emotional journey, watching the woman who raised me so slowly fade away, her memories becoming more and more elusive as the days passed. Throughout this time, my commitment to her care meant putting my life on hold. While I harbor no regrets about this decision, it has not come with its sacrifices, including my career, social life, and personal development. My siblings, three in number, took a different path. Hmm, I already know where this is going. Despite my repeated requests for help or even respite, the occasional break every now and again, or now and then, they remain distant, citing lives and other priorities, citing busy lives, I'm sorry, citing busy lives and other priorities. Their absence was substantial, not just in the physical caregiving aspect, but in the emotional support network that one would expect in such a trying time. In short, they provided no help physically, emotionally, financially, or in any other capacity that one would think I would need. Oh, did I mention I was the youngest? Wow, that's okay. Now, following my mother's passing, the matter of inheritance has surfaced. My mother, in her wisdom, saw fit to leave me the lion's share, undoubtedly in recognition of the sacrifices made and the care provided during her final years. She did, however, ensure that each of my siblings was remembered in her will, albeit to a lesser extent. Now, to be clear, hold on, let me make some adjustments here. Now, to be clear, we are not talking about millions of dollars. Mom was stable, but she was never wealthy. Prior to becoming her caregiver, I would oftentimes supplement her income. I would deposit money into her account or regularly pay a couple of her bills. Once I became her caregiver, I was able to find I was able to find programs that would assist with her medical expenses, and I started working remotely to make sure I was available for her but did not become a financial burden to her. This brings me to my dilemma. My siblings, now act now acutely aware of my mother's estate decision, have come forward expressing their desire for a more equal share. Their reasoning stems from a belief in equal entitlement as her children, despite their limited involvement in our mother's care or life in her declining years. I find myself torn. On one hand, I feel a sense of injustice, having been the sole caregiver and emotional support for our mother, a role I embraced out of love, yet with yet was significantly burdened by. On the other hand, I question whether holding on to this resentment and potentially keeping the inheritance is as it is would be selfish or just. Is it selfish to want to hold on to what my mother deemed a fair acknowledgement of sacrifices made, or is there a higher road I should consider, one that fosters family unity despite the past neglect? I trust your insight and guidance on navigating this heartbreaking decision. Your perspective has always brought light to the most challenging situations, and I find myself in desperate need of that light now. Thankfully, Daniel. Daniel, 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 Daniel. Daniel, Daniel. So, all right, there's a lot to unpack in this letter, and I'm going to try my best to provide you with some insight and some information I will say what I'm about to tell you. This is my opinion. These are my thoughts. This is what I would do. Um, First of all, I would say to you, sir, I applaud you for taking care of your mother selflessly during her last days. I applaud you for that. Being a caregiver is it is not for the faint of heart. And I see some of your comments. Thank you guys so much for interacting. I'm going to bring these comments on the screen here in just a moment. And then I do have some comments that are on another screen that I can't show them, but I am going to read them. But let me just drop this little bit of information out here first. So Daniel, I I applaud you for selflessly taking care of your mother. And my heart breaks for you because you're now having to deal with this. Um it's interesting how when you need help, the help that you need is not accessible. It's not available. While you're taking care of your mother, your siblings have moved on with their lives as if mother does not exist. Now, that's a hard place to be in the first place, because as a caregiver, oftentimes, when you are that person, then yes, it is very selfless. It is very you put everything on hold to care for your loved one. And that's a hard place to be, especially when you have to do it by yourself, and especially when you are a sibling, when you have siblings who are choosing not to make the same concessions. And so my heart goes out to you because you had to make that decision. Um, and you didn't go into a whole lot of the discussion about what all you did and how you came to the decision and all. But from what I'm hearing in the letter, you selflessly cared for your mother up until her dying day. Again, I applaud you. So let's get to the point of your letter. Let's talk about what you wanted to talk about in the letter. In the letter, you have siblings who are now coming out of the woodworks to say, we want our portion of the inheritance. But you did not take your portion in the responsibility of care. So, in my mind, the siblings are not entitled to anything. Now, if y'all want to go and dispute the will, we can dispute the will. But what I'm gonna tell you is, you better be glad mama left you what she left you, because as far as I'm concerned, you don't deserve. Hold on, let me get my sound effects right, because I felt myself about to go down a line, and I don't want to. I got church members who be watching my posts, watching my podcast. So when I say stuff like you don't deserve a thing, hold on, I don't think it worked. There it is. Okay. So when I say stuff like you don't deserve a thing, or you don't deserve, then you know, I'm just saying, because when you decided to choose your life over the care for mama, then you, like, I feel like you're saying, are you selfish for wanting to honor your mother's wishes? I feel like they were selfish to leave all of that responsibility on you by yourself. So don't come to me talking about give me what's mine, because you didn't take what was yours when mama was here. and this is the other part. If I am correct in my assessment, I'm pretty sure every Mother's Day, these siblings uh put pictures up. You know, they put temporary pictures up on their wall, on their profile of mama. And they always on Mother's Day, they did these wonderful Mother's Day posts about, oh, my mother is wonderful, and my mother is this, and my mother is that. And um, and then when they put posts up for Christmas, and they put posts up for Valentine's Day, and they put posts up, and they did all of this for mama, for other people to see, to give the illusion that they actually gave a about mama. When in actuality, they didn't give a about mama because they didn't do for mama while mama was alive. So mama you don't deserve to get from mama after she did. I hope them beeps hit just right. I hope them beeps hit right. And it's the word, it's one of the words that you use that just really grinds my grits a little bit, is the word entitlement. You use the word entitlement. Uh don't like, you feel like you're entitled to something. You feel like somebody owe you something. No, nobody owe you nothing. No, like, okay, so when you needed something going on, hold on, let me find it. Because I'm trying to get this together. Okay, it's not on here. Hold on, I'm about to get there. Hold on one second.
Help me.
There it is.
Help me.
That's all you asking for. While mama was here, all you was saying was,
help me. Help me.
Like, I have put my whole life on hold.
Help me. Help me.
I've had to change my job. I'm paying bills. My social life is affected. And I don't know, you didn't mention anything about a wife. You didn't mention anything about a girlfriend. I'm pretty sure having to provide sole care for mama during this whole process, yeah, the relationship was a struggle. You ain't really have a chance to develop anything socially for the last 4.5 years. And guess what? During the last 4.5 years, you had to take care of mama through COVID. Salute, sir. That's not easy. And then you got 3 siblings, and all you asking your siblings for is to
help me. Help me.
And then mama dies. Let me guess. They cut up at the funeral, didn't it? I know they did. So let me help y'all. For those of you who are watching, for those of you who are enjoying the moment, I'm gonna show y'all, because I was, grew up in the church, and I've been to a whole lot of funerals. And one of the things that I could always tell when I went to the funeral was, I could always tell the people who did right by the person who died. And then I could always tell the people who didn't do what they were supposed to do. And so now, and this is, it depends on how a person died, because I did see, I went to one funeral, and I went to one funeral where it was a younger person who had died, and it was a tragic death. Everybody was heartbroken. So everybody was shaking the casket. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about mama, big mama, grandmama, muddeal, pawpaw, big daddy, granddaddy, all of those, the ones who lived their lives, and they had done everything that they could, and they had been here for a while. I would just sit back and watch. And it would usually be the ones who were sitting there. They may shed a couple of tears, they may cry, but they would sit there quietly, heartbroken because their loved one was gone. I said, that person right there, they did right. They did everything that they were supposed to do. Oh, but it was the ones over there. Oh, Lord, it should have been me. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, Lord, I can't take it. Lord, why you have to take them? Gone too soon. Them the one. Them the ones that didn't do. They didn't do what they were supposed to do when mama, big daddy, granddaddy, and all them was here. And so since they didn't do what they were supposed to do, now what you're looking at is you're not looking at grief, you're looking at guilt. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at grief. You're not looking at guilt. And so when you see these folk cutting up the way they cutting up, they ain't grieving. They feel guilty because now all the stuff that you were supposed to do while mama, big mama, and all them was here, you can't do it now. So all them times you had conversations with yourself about I need to call mama. I need to check on mama. I need to see how Daniel doing. I need to make sure Daniel good. I need to do this first. And you always ran out of time and you always ran out of opportunity. And now mama gone. Guess what? Once they put mama in that ground, you can't go back and get it. You can't go back and get it. It's gone. The opportunity is gone. Now you have to deal with the hurt and the grief of not doing what you're supposed to do. That's why it is always good. I'm going to put a pause right here. Love on your people. Love on your people. Love on your people. Love on your people. Please love on your people. Because, and this is the one of the things that I have learned is you can't necessarily count on I got time, because my daddy used to say all the time, they got long graves just as much as they got short graves, which means you can be old, you can be young, but when the master pull your card, you got to go. And so what I'm saying is, as I pause right here, y'all make sure you do right by your people. And whatever y'all got going on, squash it. Build a bridge and get over it. Easier said than done. I know. But you don't want folk to slip away from here and you have unresolved hurt, because when you get into the situation where that person is gone and you looking over their box, you looking at the box. And we have this thing we say at my church, and I say it to people all the time, where it's like, it's good to see you. And they'll say, or people will say, it's good to see you. And I say, yeah, it's better to be seen than to be viewed. Because once you're in a spot where you're being viewed, then anything that I needed to say to you, I can't say it now. So that's what I'm saying to y'all. Y'all get it, get your stuff together. Get it right. Get it right. All right. But now let's get back to Daniel. Daniel, listen, whatever your mama left you, keep it. I'm talking about keep every dime. If mama left you the house, the car, the bank accounts, the stocks, the bonds, and if they left everybody else in the family a shoe, you let them keep their shoe. You take everything else and move on with your life. Please. Daniel, I don't know how old you are, but what I'm gonna say to you is you have done well. You've done well by your mama. Now it's time to live for Daniel. You did great by mama. I'm pretty sure mama is resting because of the effort, the time, the energy, and the work that Daniel put in for mama. Now it's time for Daniel to live for Daniel. Watch this. You saying you don't want to be selfish? You're not being selfish. But and I'm gonna rewind. Be selfish. Selfish ain't always bad, because if you don't look out for you, ain't nobody else gonna look out for you. I've used this analogy several times. I'm going to use it again. There is a reason why on an airplane they tell you put your mask on first before you put somebody else's mask on, before you try to help somebody else. Self-care is very important. And at this point, you have taken care of mama for 4+ years. Now it's time for Daniel to have some self-care. Man, listen, Take that money. Once you make sure all mama bills paid, hear what I'm saying. Once you make sure all mama's bills are paid, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, cuz mama gave them what she felt like they deserved based on what she did, and she put it in a will. I'm gonna put a pause right here. Thank God mama had enough of her mental faculties to put a will in place before she slipped away. Because had she not put a will in place before she slipped away, then your brothers and sisters come in and they feel like they're entitled to everything. And then the oldest, he gonna come in, he be like, well, since I'm the oldest, I'm entitled to what the oldest should get. And then the second will come in and be like, well, since I'm the second oldest, then I should get what the second oldest is entitled to. And then they're gonna look at you and be like, well, you're just the baby, and so you get the baby share. Now, what y'all finna do is get up off of me. This is what you finna do, is you finna get up off of me. Because when you wasn't, when I was in here uh watching mama deteriorate, you was living your life. So do this. Keep that same energy. Mama didn't exist then, mama don't exist now. So thankfully, mama had enough wherewithal to put it in a will. So bringing me to my second point. For those of you who are out here, who are listening to my show, y'all put it in a will. I don't care if you got 3 shoes, put it in a will. I don't care if you got, you know, if you got 2 nickels to rub together and you want your great grandchild to get your 2 nickels, put it in a will. Okay? Because if you don't put it in a will, they're gonna be fighting over them 2 nickels. So put it in a will. Okay? I'm gonna have to go through now and look at my 2 nickels and see how I'm gonna divide my 2 nickels up amongst my heirs. You know, who gonna get my grill? Got to divide it up. Cause I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody fussing. And this is the thing. This is the thing. Uh, what this process does is it makes it easier on the family, or at least it should, because then they don't have to wonder what does mama or daddy want done with their stuff. But Daniel, sir, once again, I applaud you. I commend you on everything that you did to honor the life and the legacy of your mother. My thoughts and prayers are with you and with your family. Um, but don't get them niggas nothing. I said it. Oh, hold on. I said it before I could catch it. I'm sorry. I hope ain't nobody offended by the N word, because I sure said it. I said the N word, but I meant it when I said it. Okay, that my beep is. Don't get them niggas. My beep is off. Don't. Well, it is what it is. Don't give them nothing. Okay. All right. Mama said she wanted you to have $82.53, and that's all Mama left you was $83.52. That's all I got for you is what Mama had for you, because if you could not provide any type of support for me during Mama's last days, don't come looking at me now. Don't come grinning in my face talking about bruh, bruh, bruh. Nope, nope, and nope. I can't. I can't. Mama said this is what she wanted you to have, and that's what Mama gave you. And so, Daniel, take that money or take your inheritance. And I don't know how much it is, so I don't know what you can do with it. But once Mama's bills are paid, find you a financial advisor who can help you make some investments. Find you uh, a grief counselor who can help you get through, some of these other parts of your process. Um, and go on vacation. Like, just take a couple of $100 and go on vacation and just go sit by some water. and turn your phone off or change your phone number or whatever. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, your siblings can go to hell. I mean, I have no, because you don't get the luxury of moving on with your life while she's alive and then trying to cash in on her death. That's not how that works. All right, let me go back and grab some of these comments. And then guys, I'm actually going to open my phone lines tonight. And so if you want to jump on and share in this conversation with me tonight, uh if you want to jump on and just kind of talk with me, here we go. The phone line is open. You can call me at 769-487-6327. I'm gonna go and talk about some of these comments. And so I have I'm trying to pull it up now. So these are the comments that I cannot show on screen because you all are on my regular page, which is fine. I ain't tripping about that. Again, I would love for y'all to be on my Step Steady page, but you're here. And so I do have one very special friend. She's a young lady who I know, and this I don't know how much of this she has had to deal with. I pray none of this scenario is her scenario, but my friend Felicia Brookins, she said, Jesus, I didn't expect this and wasn't ready. I know this pain, Daniel. I pray for you. Father God, restore him. And then she said, I have to sign off of this. Honor your mother's wishes, is what Felicia said. Now, just to provide some insight as to everything that's going on, Felicia buried her mother 2 weekends ago. And so we are still praying for you. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the show right before it, but we did just do a special tribute to and for you and your mom. And so again, we're still praying for you. Excuse me. We're still praying for you. And of course, Felicia, if you need anything, I'm here for you. And so then see this, how I told y'all I got church people who listen to my podcast. My mother's pastor watches my podcast, and his name is Pastor Salvador May, and he says, "Move forward with your life and let God lead you. If your family truly loves you, they will come around." And then this was the part when we were talking about them at the funeral, and he said they showed to the funeral drunk, which they probably did. Uh, And so those were the comments that were on my personal page. And here we go. Tariana said, no, mama did how she saw fit. They should be more worried about the fact that they weren't there for her. They weren't worried about unity when it was time to share the responsibility. Very good point. Because one of the things that Daniel did mention, he said, should I take the high road that would bring unity to the family? Nope. All the high roads are closed. The only roads that are open at this point are petty roads. Take all of them. Nope. Nope. There are no high roads. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ken said, honor your mom's last wish. She did how she wanted it. You should be, so shouldn't be no guilt on you. Exactly. Don't be guilty. Don't be guilty at all. Tariana said exactly. I'm not really sure what I said at that point. And Ursula said that part. Probably the main ones falling all in the casket. Exactly. It be them. Them be the ones. Showed they natural behinds, I bet. The natural behinds, the BBL behinds, the fake behinds, the booty pad behinds. They showed all they behinds. Mm-hmm. That's what they did. Okay. Okay. So again, on my personal page, I have this lady. I've known this lady since I was in high school, and she corrected me. She said saying they can go to hell was a bit much. I'm sorry. They don't have to go, but they don't get no money. They don't get no inheritance, but they can stay on earth. I'm sorry. See, this is why I had to be careful. I know, I told y'all I have people on my page who they will get me together. And so just like that, I just got together. And so Miss Connie Little, yes, ma'am. That may have been a bit much. And so I'm, I'm sorry, kind of, but not really, but a little bit. I'm sorry because you said it was a bit much, but I kind of meant it when I said it. Uh, so I hope I don't get canceled because I said it, but I meant it when I said it. So again, my phone lines are open. So if you all want to call in and talk to me, you can dial me now. 769-487-6327. And you don't have to dial in. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's okay. But again, Daniel, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a listener. I am assuming exact that Tyrant, we are a little extreme, so we sorry. Um, but yeah, Daniel, our thoughts and prayers are with you. We pray that God graces you through this intense time in your life, and that He gives you wisdom. And so I can say any and everything, but I would tell you to commit some time, pray about it, and seek God on this one. Uh, because I am not the best person to be having this conversation, because my thoughts are mama said what she said. So now y'all can kick rocks. Okay. Hopefully that one is better. Okay, so I can't say kick rocks. Right. I hope I can say that. Yeah, don't come for me. Because if you couldn't show up when mama needed all the help that she needed, then I don't have nothing for you. I'm sorry. I don't have nothing for you. So this has been the Steps At It podcast. Uh-oh, where we go? There we go. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Once again, this is the Steps At It podcast. We're live every Thursday at 8 o'clock. Once again, I missed last Thursday because it was the 4th of July, but we're going to keep it going. Listen, please. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We have a caller. Hold on one second. Caller, you're live on the air. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello. I hope I didn't wait too late.
No, you didn't wait too late. Wait, this sounds like my mama.
It is.
Hey, mama.
Okay. I think you on. I think you on the right track, advice wise. If Mama left her will and she left what she wanted to go where she wanted, then I think he should feel okay to honor that without feeling guilty. Just watch your mouth. And I think he should feel okay to honor that without feeling guilty.
You said just shut my mouth. Wait, Daniel need to shut his mouth, or I need to shut my mouth?
Watch your mouth.
Watch my mouth. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes,
You
ma'am.
need to watch your mouth.
Yes, ma'am. See, I'm just all thrown off now. I'm just clicking all the wrong buttons and everything. Okay, I'm back. There we go. So I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. I love you, mama.
Love you too.
Okay, we'll talk in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you too.
Well, I hope you all have enjoyed the show. My mama came on the show and got me all the way together. And so there we go. All right. One more comment and then we're going to get on out of here. Ken said, don't try to let them guilt you spiritually either. We all going to need an inheritance. We all going to get an inheritance in heaven, but not the same reward. Don't let them tell God, no, all need to be equal. Nope. And that's a good point. Great point. So this has been the Steps Headed Podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please take a moment and visit our website, www.stepsedit.com. Once again, if you ask me, I'll tell you there you can stay up to date with everything that we've got going on. Also, please take a moment and consider becoming a Steps Headed partner. We can come in at 3 levels, levels 1, 2, and 3. Everything is outlined there on our website. And you don't have to be locked into these amounts. If you want to give $1, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, any and every gift will be accepted with love, and we appreciate you. Also, please like, follow, and subscribe. We are Steps Headed across all social media platforms. We are Steps Headed on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat. If I had MySpace, I'd be Steps Headed on MySpace, and we would be doing it for the vine. Also, very, 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 very important, starting in August, we will be shifting everything from not just the podcast, but we will become officially Steps Headed Entertainment. Our website is coming soon. We've been really putting some work in, getting some work done. And so starting in August, we will be hosting Blazing Hot Karaoke at Buffalo Wild Wings in Ridgeland. So it is fun for the entire family. It is family friendly. It is safe. It's going to be a lot of fun. So once again, we're going to be hosting karaoke every Tuesday starting August the 6th. We'll be hosting karaoke at Buffalo Wild Wings in Ridgeland on Lake Harbor. So please, if you're not doing anything else, come see about your boy and let's have some fun. So once again, thank you guys for hanging out with me on tonight. It's been a lot of fun. I promise you I'm going to try to be quicker on my beeps next time so my mama don't have to call me and get me together, and so that my, the seniors on my page won't feel like they have to correct me. So I do apologize. But we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Once again, this is the Steps Headed Podcast. I am Stephen B, and we're here every Thursday, hot and fresh at 8 o'clock. And if anybody asks you where you get your information from, you know what to tell them. Steps Headed. We'll see y'all next week. Love you.